The movie focuses on a young girl named Joy, who grows up in a big family with a love for crafting things by hand. Her mom, Terry, is glued to the TV all day watching soap operas, and the only person who gets joy is her grandma, Mimi. Mimi tells Joy that she's destined for great things. Fast forward several years, and Joy's life hasn't unfolded the way she had hoped. Yet, she still has a knack for creating cool stuff and dreams of inventing something to patent one day. Terry still can't get enough of her TV shows. One day, Joy's dad Rudy shows up. He's been kicked out by his wife Sharon and needs a place to stay. Despite Terry's objections, Rudy moves into the basement, where Tony, Joy's jobless ex-husband who loves to sing, already resides. Joy has a lot on her plate. She's juggling a job at the airport, and things become even tougher when she's told she has to work night shifts. Although Rudy helps her with the mortgage, he's more focused on his dating life. Tony and Rudy fight constantly, and the house is always in a state of chaos. In the midst of all this, Joy finds time to read to her daughter, but goes to bed each night feeling trapped and exhausted. Then, Joy has a dream that she's become a character in one of her mom's TV shows, and realizes she's been stuck in a rut for 17 years. After she wakes up, her childhood friend Jackie pays a visit. They catch up and Joy opens up about her struggles. She works non-stop but still can't make ends meet. She wonders how her life has ended up like this. Joy once had big dreams for the future, but as the years go by, they seem to be slipping away. Her old friend Jackie reminds her of how she first met Tony at a party and fell in love immediately. Tony, whose father is a music teacher, aspires to be a famous singer. He always believed in following one's passion, not getting stuck in everyday life. Joy also opened up about her own aspirations to patent one of her inventions. She was a star student and had even gotten into a Boston college. But she had to stay back to support her mom and dad in their times of need. Though Joy's father Rudy didn't approve, Joy and Tony got married. Rudy's wedding toast reveals his own marital failures, bringing Joy to tears. After having 2 kids, Joy and Tony argue constantly because Tony won't work. He wants to pursue his music full-time. Feeling trapped, Joy decides to divorce him. In the present, Rudy is dating Trudy, a wealthy widow who owns a yacht. She invites the family, including Tony, for a yacht trip. During the journey, red wine spills on the expensive white wooden floor of the yacht. Joy cleans up, injuring her hands, but this sparks a new idea in her mind. Later, a plumber visits their home, but Joy's mom Terry doesn't want to be disturbed from watching her TV shows. Despite being on the brink of emotional collapse, as her dad, ex-husband, and grandma realize, Joy can't sleep due to ongoing nightmares. She eventually falls asleep on the stairs, her mind haunted by 17 years of lost opportunities. She then decides that her father and ex-husband must move out for the sake of a peaceful home. With renewed determination, Joy wants to pitch her new idea to Trudy. Using her daughter's art supplies, she starts creating a prototype. She presents her innovative MOP idea to Trudy, who wants to see more than just plans on paper. Undeterred, Joy knows she'll see this through to the end. Joy's mother Terry suddenly walked in while Joy was working on her invention, surprising everyone since Terry hadn't been social with men for almost a decade. With the help of her father's workers and her supportive friend Jackie, Joy eventually showcases a completed MOP to Trudy and others. Trudy mentions the risks, but Joy insists she's up for the challenge. To be on the safe side, Trudy orders a global patent search and finds a similar product being made in Hong Kong. Meanwhile, Terry realizes she's been lonely all these years and breaks down crying. The family gathers to hear Trudy reveal she found someone out of state who could produce the initial batch, but they need to pay a fee for the patent first. Once the first MOP arrives, volunteers led by a local pastor come to test it out. Yet troubles begin when the manufacturer sends an inflated bill for having to redo the batch 4 times. Trudy advises Joy to sell the first batch herself, but no manufacturer is interested, mainly due to its high cost. Feeling desperate, Joy and Jackie put on a small skit to advertise the MOP in public. The act attracts attention, including from the police who seize the products for unauthorized selling. Tony, her ex-husband, witnesses this but offers no support. Adding to her woes, the phone service at home is cut off due to unpaid bills, and her son falls sick. At her lowest point, Joy is encouraged by her grandmother Mimi to never give up. Then Tony reappears, feeling guilty and offering a potential business contact who might help. Skeptical but with nothing to lose, Joy attends a meeting at a prestigious company, where she and Tony end up waiting for hours. Finally, Neil Walker, the head of the company, agrees to hear her pitch. During the presentation, Joy is extremely nervous but receives an unexpected boost when Neil decides to share his own story. Neil is the person responsible for deciding which products hit the shelves. He warns Joy that he's very selective and spends most of his day saying no to inventors like her. Realizing this might be her only shot, Joy showcases her mop to Neil and explains why it's superior to anything currently on the market. Neil interrupts her and asks if she can produce 50,000 mops within a week. Joy says she can. Neil then introduces her to Todd, who will handle her product's upcoming presentation. Todd is sensitive but an effective seller, according to Neil. He also shows Joy the ad space where her mop will be featured. Sales reps Joan and Cindy, experts in their field, would be representing the product. Neil advises Joy to go home, consult her lawyer, and get everything ready for launch. Money remains a hurdle for Joy. She needs $200,000 to produce the mops. Trudy offers only half, meaning Joy must mortgage her home to cover the rest. She knows if the campaign flops, she'll lose everything. On the day of the ad campaign, the family gathers around the TV. Nervous but hopeful, Joy watches as Todd utterly fails to demonstrate the mop effectively. No calls come in. A disheartened Joy realizes she's not just failed but is also deep in debt. The family's Christmas Eve is ruined. Then Neil calls to express his regret. He blames the product, not Todd. The company will refund a third of her expenses as per their agreement. Joy pleads for another shot and, driven by her persistence, marches into Neil's office. She insists on selling the product herself, refusing to take no for an answer. Despite never having been on TV, Neil gives her another chance. Joy is prepped for the screen, but she isn't happy with how she looks. She believes her mop will sell better if she appears as a regular housewife. Joan and Cindy wish her luck. The broadcast begins, and Joy is paralyzed with nervousness. Just when it looks like another disaster, a call comes in on the live feed. It's Jackie, posing as a satisfied customer. Jackie chimes in on live TV, singing praises for the mop's benefits. This boosts Joy's confidence, and she effectively markets her invention to a large audience. Calls flood in. It's a resounding success. Neil, amazed at the sales, predicts that Joy is going to be a big deal in business. After the broadcast, Joy is emotional. She and Neil are now not just business partners but also friends. To celebrate her win, Joy throws a party, thanking Tony for connecting her with Neil. Now running the production, with Neil also supervising, the mop ad campaigns continue to boost sales. Joy is on cloud 9. But then, a devastating call comes in. She rushes home to find out her grandmother Mimi has passed away. Joy is shattered. Mimi was her lifelong supporter. The funeral is a somber affair, with everyone mourning the loss of the family's cornerstone. During this, Rudy tells Joy there's an issue with the manufacturer upping the cost. He sent Peggy to sort it out, which annoys Joy. Instead of negotiating a lower price, Peggy pitches her own business idea to the manufacturer. Angered, Joy warns her family not to interfere in her business dealings. Taking the next flight to California, Joy confronts the manufacturer, Gerhardt, about the raised costs. He justifies it, citing rising production expenses. Using a restroom excuse, Joy snoops around the workshop and discovers that Gerhardt has stolen her patent. As she tries to reclaim her blueprints, police arrive, summoned by Gerhardt. She's arrested but vows to make him pay. Trudy bails her out, adding to her debts. To make matters worse, Gerhardt's boss had actually swiped her patent, putting her in an even more precarious legal position. Trudy's lawyer advises that it's an unwinnable case, worsened by Peggy's unauthorized payments. Now $500,000 in debt, Trudy suggests that bankruptcy is Joy's only option, as going to court would likely result in a loss. Trudy thinks Joy won't succeed in business due to her lack of grit and business sense. Rudy also pushes Joy to file for bankruptcy, which would cost her the mortgaged home. Feeling defeated, Joy has a breakdown, claiming her grandma Mimi was wrong about her being special. She considers her mop invention a huge mistake. Needing space, she locks herself in the bathroom and cuts her hair for a fresh start. Spending the night reviewing all her contracts, Joy goes missing the next day. Tony finds a note and realizes she's left the state. Joy heads to California and meets the man to whom she's been sending a share of her profits. She believes he's been making similar mops in Hong Kong. But she discovers he's a fraud. Her mop is one of a kind. Bartholomew agrees to return all the money and signs a paper saying he doesn't have any claim on her invention. Tired of setbacks, Joy starts to show a new resolve and toughness. Time passes, and Joy accumulates multiple patents, breaking records. She becomes wealthy, moving into a lavish home. Though her family continues to be a challenge, Tony and Jackie remain her trusted allies and friends. Joy now supports others who have great ideas but lack backing. As for her relationship with Neil, they've become business rivals but still maintain a friendship. Neil is extremely proud of Joy for overcoming all obstacles and succeeding on her own terms.